Young, tipsy, and black.
Oh, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Young, Tipsy, and Black podcast. I am your host, Torrance. I was just shining the glass a little bit, getting ready for the episode. I'm your host, Torrance, and welcome back. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you got in your own world that you're like, you know what? I got this album, and I got this wine. How you think they go together, T? How you think these things gonna pair? Send it to me. I would love to review your thoughts and what you got going on in your end. But at any rate, we are back with another episode. Very excited. All beautiful things. Today, we will be talking about, and drinking specifically, a Bordeaux from France. Okay? And it can only be a Bordeaux, kind of like champagne, how champagne can only be champagne if it's from the Champagne region of France. A Bordeaux can only be a Bordeaux if it's from the Bordeaux region of France. And what I love about Bordeaux, which is so interesting about it, is that there's a white Bordeaux and then there's a red Bordeaux. Today we'll be drinking a red, but another fun thing about Bordeaux that I also absolutely love is that it can only be a Bordeaux if it includes these 5 varietals. Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cabernet Franc, Malbec, and a Petit Bordeaux. So it's literally just a red blend from Bordeaux, France. And it is, I love a Bordeaux. I have not had this one yet. We'll talk about that in a sec. But I love Bordeaux. They are typically very smooth, medium bodied. And remember, when we talk about medium body, it's not really like super heavy on the palate. Like it doesn't like, like a Cabernet, sometimes it's super, super heavy. I think with the blend itself, it's done well. Bordeaux, great. Now, we will be trying today a Chateau Haut Sauvignon Haut Sauvignon Bordeaux Superior. Okay, we'll be trying it. I got this down at the Trader Joe's. Okay, and from the reviews that I saw, this is everyone's kind of like nice, decently priced Bordeaux, like their go-to Bordeaux, and it's something like $10. So I said, well, let me go ahead and give it a shot. I love a bargain. So we will be trying this Bordeaux Superior, and I got my handy dandy beautiful glass because I love my glasses. So let's go ahead and give this an open and a try. Jesus, I gotta put this down, y'all. Table too high for me. But yeah, not the cork almost broke in my hand, y'all. God, Lord Jesus. Oof. My favorite sound, y'all know how I love that. Here go my other favorite sound. All right. We love to see it. Okay. This is a bit darker than the typical Bordeaux that I've had. Some of them are a little bit lighter in color, even though it is a nice blend of those 5 varietals that I mentioned, it's darker. So I'm assuming this is probably a very rich, darker, like dark cherry, dark fruit, like really, really heavy in that, and less on the lighter note. But let's see. Yeah, this is red fruit. This is deep red fruit smell. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a try. Delicious Bordeaux. I see why people were talking about it. It's delicious. Shout out to Haut Sauvignon Chateau Bordeaux Superior. This is a good Bordeaux. Easy to drink, medium body, taste-wise. Like it's not heavy tannins, right? It doesn't make my mouth extremely dry when I taste it. It does like dry out my mouth a little bit, but not as deep as like the Cabernets, if it's just a Cabernet or something like that. This is delicious. And because it's so delicious, and I'm so thankful that it is, because I would hate to have to drink a beer while I do this. But with this Bordeaux, I wanted to pair it because it is a blend, right? Because it is mixed with multiple varieties or whatever. I wanted to pair it with something that has an album that is equally as unique and blended. So today we will be pairing this Bordeaux Superior from the Trader Joe's with none other than D'Angelo's second album, Voodoo. And if you know music, if you know good music, you know Voodoo. If you know good music, you know D'Angelo. If you know good music, you know Voodoo by D'Angelo. You know what that album did for the genre of neo soul. That man, it's a grown and sexy album. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me calm down, because that's coming up next. So stay tuned for the Come Taste This With Me section. Come taste this with me. I wish you could taste it. I wish that everyone was pouring up a glass and trying this out with me, because this is very good. Run on down to your local Trader Joe's and get you a Bordeaux. It's very easy to drink. It is not too heavy. If you like the sweet stuff, you might not like this, but it is a very good wine, very delicious. At any rate, this is the Come Taste This With Me section. Not only are we tasting the wine, we're doing a deep dive and tasting the album itself. And with D'Angelo performing at the Roots Picnic this summer with the Roots, I felt like what better time to talk about his amazing works. And I wanted to start with Voodoo because while I love Brown Sugar and Voodoo, it's very rare that you have a sophomore album. I know I've talked about this previously. It's very rare that you have a sophomore album that is of equal caliber to your freshman album, like to your first project. And Voodoo is nothing short of fantastic. And let's just dive into some of the beautiful accolades and some of the things that people have said about it over the years. It is his second studio album, came out in the 2000s. And it earned the Grammy for Best R&B Album in 2001, right? So, like, don't get me wrong, the Grammys, but it's still well-deserved, that Grammy. So, like, fantastic that it won that. At the time, critics called this project a masterpiece and his greatest works, right? And so, D'Angelo has been credited to, I'm so sorry, y'all, this is delicious. Okay, let me talk. So, D'Angelo has been credited to be the one to usher in the neo soul movement with his first project, Brown Sugar, in 1995, and he just kind of continued that journey with Voodoo in such a massive, special, successful, like just next level way, and right after Brown Sugar, apparently he had like writer's block shortly, like for the first like 3-4 years, he was experiencing writer's block after Brown Sugar, not knowing what to write, how he was going to figure this stuff out. But later on was able to create Voodoo in 2000, right? That's why there was that 5-year gap between albums. And honestly, you can't really talk shit about people because there's some artists who only came out with one album. D'Angelo and the Soultronics. So D'Angelo and Soultronics, they created the Soultronics. Don't make me laugh. D'Angelo and the Soultronics was a group that he created in 2000 that was a part of the Voodoo album. Was like the backing band for that. And it was amazing because it was Questlove and it was Anthony Hamilton and Rural Hargrove, who's like a trumpet master. Like if you really listen to his stuff and hearing the whole, We'll get into that in a bit. There was also the Soulquarians, which was a group that started in the 90s, 2000s, that had the neo soul legends, right? Bilal, Erykah Badu, Common, again, Questlove, some of the staples that are a part of that genre, the neo soul genre, or part of the era to usher that really into the mainstream sound. And I say mainstream, like mainstream in my world. You know what I'm saying? Like Erica was mainstream in my house. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But that's the mainstream. I am, like Toni Morrison said, I am the mainstream. Anyway, back to the album itself. The reason I wanted to do this Bordeaux with it is because it is a melting pot. And I do not say that lightly. It is a melting pot of sounds. It is jazz. It is funk. It is hip hop. It is R&B. It is neo soul. It is truly the creation of its own genre, and it stood on its own. And very few can argue its excellence, and very few can hold a candle to what D'Angelo and the Soultronics were able to create with this project, truly. And I'm talking like left and right with Redman and Method Man. We got The Root, which was like just smooth and like the harmonies, the stacking, it's just so involved constantly. Like it's so many details that are in each song and project. It is 1 minute you're listening to something and you're like, oh, this is a funk record. Then you get it to and you're like, oh wait, this is blues. Oh wait, this is real jazzy. Wait, this is straight out of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, and some records are all encompassing. Some of them are all together, right? Like very special. You have, obviously everyone knows Untitled. How does it feel? And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. Spanish Joint. That was I don't know. It's hard to really put into words, and I know like I can't play these songs on the podcast because of copyright and stuff. But if you have not listened to Voodoo in a while, if you have not given it a chance at all, I highly recommend listening to a masterpiece, a masterclass in sound blending, right? And genre bending, right? Like it's so perfect to me, right? Again, we're talking about the stacking and the harmonies. Like it's really nothing that compares to it. It's constantly, every time I listen, I find something new. Every time I listen, I find something new that I love. And again, with this Bordeaux, every time I sip, right? Look, I stopped mid-sentence to sip some more because I was like, I'm tasting something. I'm getting something new every time. And that's how I feel with D'Angelo's Voodoo album. The unfortunate part about this is after Voodoo, because of the Untitled video that went absolutely viral in a time before viral was viral, D'Angelo was seen as a sex symbol, and he did not like that. He didn't want that at all. And unfortunately, that caused him to sort of go into hiding for a bit, right? And realize that, at least from his perspective, based on what I've read, is that he did not want that to be a part of his life, and he shied away from it. And like, how do I switch that up, right? Like, how do I change from being the one that everyone's looked at and like kind of lusting after, and it's not about the music anymore, it's about me and my body or whatever. Even though, everybody thought the man was naked on the screen. I don't know what to say. In the video, everybody thought he was naked, truly. I mean, he was damn near naked in the screen. But still, like, I think in the idea of holding space for him to feel and want to be recognized for the sensational music that he just put out in that project, it was overshadowed by the Untitled music video to some degree, right? Like growing up, I only knew Untitled, right? Like I knew Voodoo a little bit, but I wasn't listening to it like that. It was, how does it feel? That's all I got. That's all we knew, right? And so now as an adult, listening to, oh my God, beyond its time. There's just certain projects that are beyond its time, and Voodoo D'Angelo is one of them. I can't stress it enough how fantastic the album is and how special it is. And so I encourage you to, when you have some time, go on down to the Trader Joe's, get you some Bordeaux Superior, and pour that up, and just hit play. Just hit play on Voodoo. Just hit play. You will not be disappointed with the sonic journey that you're going to go on. It's fantastic. Sorry, I had to get that out. That was so special. But anyway, moving on. Next up, the Sip Responsibly section. Woo! That was a lot, but a good a lot, right? I know. Listen to Voodoo. Anyway, we're here for Sip Responsibly. This is where I read people's drunken confessions and speak to why we should all be sipping responsibly. This one reads, one night I got super drunk and instead of taking an Uber, I decided to take the bus back home. I laid down on the seat and passed out. The bus driver didn't see me, so he parked the bus back at the station and left. My roommate got nervous when I didn't come home and thought I went missing. Everyone was searching for me. I had missed calls and texts, good thing your phone didn't die, from everyone, including my stupid ex. Now he won't leave me alone because he's concerned about me. I knew I should have just called an Uber in the first place. Let me explain something to y'all. Sometimes you got to block that ex because I'm going to tell you right now. Let me backtrack. I'm also concerned because what you doing laying down in the seat in the bus on the way home? Like you said, you're not in an Uber where you can kind of put your head, you laid down in the seat. Of course the bus driver didn't see you, fool. Who was going to see you? You laying down. You laying on the ground. What is this? This is silly. Roommate got nervous when I didn't come home. Yes. And thought I went missing. Yes. Especially if I'm calling you and you're not answering the phone. Good thing you got a roommate that cares. Now, I don't know how the ex got involved. Maybe the roommate called the ex and said, have you seen her? Because I know she's been talking about you lately. Have you seen her? Tell me, have you seen her? And then, thank goodness you was found. Good thing you woke up. Good thing you was able to get off that bus. You wasn't cold. That didn't hurt to lay down like that. I guess when you're drunk, sometimes you need a cold surface. Sometimes when you get a little tipsy, a little too drunk, a little too turned, you go right and lay on that bathroom floor. You need something cold. Sit right in that bathroom floor. What? That is the best feeling. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this is again why you need to sit responsible. So you shouldn't be laying your head down on that dirty. How many? Oh, I'm thinking about the germs. I'm thinking about the germs you done got over here, putting your whole head in there. You got, got the heebie-jeebies. Again, y'all, all the more reason to sip responsibly, because you shouldn't be going through these types of experiences. You should have called an Uber home, okay? If you can't get home, call an Uber, okay? Don't be taking no bus if you know you can't stay up. You know yourself. You grown. I don't know. They didn't give an age for this person, but you grown enough to know you finna fall asleep. This is childish. This is foolish. Maybe I'm just old now and I don't be having these problems. Whatever. Nonetheless, thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of the Young Tipsy Black podcast. I am touring to like and subscribe, send to some people. Let me know what pairings you want me to try. And until next time, please sip responsibly.